Welcome to Thomas's non-driving part, because let me just a second, I need to check some emails here, because today I'm not driving because the car is driving, the Mercedes EQS in the level 3 automated driving mode, and it works here on the autobahn, on the motorway, up to a speed of 60 kilometers an hour, and then I'm actually really allowed to pick up my smartphone and check my emails without being, sent to jail. This is really interesting. Here at the steering wheel there are these additional buttons, and when they light up in a wide way, then I can click it and the system's getting activated at the moment. But this is actually a good use case. We are in this simulated traffic jam. This is a testing area of Mercedes. Therefore we only have Mercedes cars, and we'll go through different scenarios, and we can also browse here the internet and check out, watch Autogefühl, so I can watch myself driving this vehicle here. But you see, it works with the browser. The browser would also work when we are stationary. That also works, and usually the way is then when we start driving, the browser is disallowed. Only when we are in this autonomous mode, then we can browse the internet once again. I've recently seen someone who has attached like an iPad right here while driving and using the smartphone and smoking a cigarette. Wow, that's supposed to work. And we also have even more interesting scenarios coming up here, because you've maybe seen it already here. This vehicle is automatically forming an emergency lane, so we're not in the middle of the lane, but we are rather towards the right side of the lane, so there's an emergency corridor for a possible emergency vehicle to come, and so on. Also, there are other safety mechanisms. For example, I have to be ready within 10 seconds to react to take over the steering again. And when I move my seat backwards, it says here steering wheel and pedal must be reachable. So the car is always saying, Thomas, don't do that. Here in a situation where the car is parked on the right side, see here, car is adjusting on its own. Another one parked right here. I'm really doing nothing, I promise. This is really working, and there are no external sensors connected or something. It's just that this car has the additional LiDAR, the laser sensor, and you will have to pay it optionally for the level 3 autonomous function. So that will be an option. It will not be cheap at all, because the laser sensor is also quite cost intensive, and of course you need the software and so on. So I'm not allowed to move too far away from the steering wheel, otherwise the vehicle would say like I have to take over the steering again. And this, by the way, a very nice testing area. You can also do some high-speed testing up there. Maybe at a later stage there will also be high-speed autonomous driving possible. At the moment, as said, restricted to like 60 kilometers. So there was also recently a survey, like how many minutes do people need until they trust an autonomous vehicle, and it's really just a matter of minutes, like maximum of 10 minutes. It also depended a little bit on the age group. For example, like how in younger people who are also more like connected to technology and so on, they just need like 1 or 2 minutes, and it's like, yeah, okay, I trust it and let's go, And then others were taking a little bit longer. But the thing is, you get used to it so fast, and this situation here really feels like normal traffic. They have made it quite realistic with all the vehicles moving here, moving left, and so on. Very, very interesting. And there's another surprise coming up very soon, I can promise. So I also wanted to start this video initially and eat something, but they actually didn't allow me to. So because I said, yeah, maybe when I have the plate here, and it could interfere with the airbag and so on. And yes, that's true. I said, I just want to do it as a gag, But yeah, they're very strict as for safety and stuff, and so yeah, I wasn't allowed to do it. I'm really astonished. It works very smoothly. Also, you can also watch here the steering reactions. It's not that it was like correcting left, right again, and so on. Everything in a very smooth transition, and yeah, this is probably one of the best level 3. Standard vehicle or stock vehicle demonstrations we have seen yet. When will it be really allowed? Theoretically, it is already allowed in a lot of different markets. They are now just implementing it, that it really works with the S-Class and with the EQS and also with the Maybach. And yeah, so it will take a little bit more time until you can really do that. You can already order the vehicle then with this function. It was also possible with the S-Class, and then you basically have to wait for it. Yeah, and yeah, Jonas, by the way, had a great idea earlier. So when you want some privacy yourself, but you don't want to drive, you order another chauffeur driver that is driving a car in front of you and reducing the speed up to 60 kilometers an hour. And then you take this car here behind the car and you can not drive yourself here. So this, by the way, also an interesting case here in front of us. You maybe heard the horn. And so when another vehicle is coming too close to you, maybe like doing reverse gear by mistake or something, then the car here, the autonomous vehicle, is automatically using the horn. So I don't have to press it. It's being done automatically to warn the car in front of us, for example. This is, by the way, also interesting. So in the cars in front of us, like not this one, but the one before that, did like a really harsh braking. And we didn't even recognize that, because when these systems here realize it very, very early that the car in front of us is braking, then our braking process can be very, very smooth and we don't have any, like stressed out effect or something, because it's just, not that spontaneously. So when all of these cars in front of us would have the very same system, the traffic flow actually would be better, because a lot of traffic jams just occur because of human error. Someone is braking too late, one behind is braking even then of course earlier, and then earlier, and then we have the traffic jam. This happens quite a lot, and it's causing a lot of traffic damage, let's call it that way. When all of these cars would have the same system in place, it would look exactly like this. I mean, you see here, the distance of the car, this is so interesting to see. It almost looks weird, it almost looks unreal. You would never see this yet in a real traffic situation, yet. But soon this could be reality. I mean, it looks like, I can't even describe it. It's really bizarre when they all keep the very, very same distance and everything is like in such order. We also have a truck here, by the way. So they use also this area here for truck tests, for example. Oh, now there's a emergency vehicle coming. Whoa, yes. So take control of the vehicle now. Okay. Yeah, that was maybe a little bit too late now. But you see, one thing is, when you are in this autonomous mode, you're basically in it and you're not paying so much attention anymore because you trust the vehicle. So you have to get out of it, really. And that's why the car is also giving acoustic warning. I mean, the vehicle was already forming an emergency lane. So in this case, it was no problem. But Mercedes still says that such complex and safety relevant situations, we should still wake up the driver and say, like, maybe there's something needed to be done. And one problem is, for example, let's say situation like this, and maybe there's a through line, or maybe there's like we have to go in the grass or something to make way for the policeman. Then maybe we have to break a rule in order to act correctly. That sounds weird, but that's what humans sometimes do. We break rules intentionally for the greater good. That sounds philosophically interesting. I have to think about this. But the thing is, or maybe when there's like a vehicle parked in the wrong way and we have to just get to another lane, an autonomous vehicle would say like, oh, I'm breaking a rule, that's not allowed, I'm not doing it. But humans have to do it sometimes. But here already it was working quite well. By the way, I can activate the autonomous driving here once again. Here, when everything is sorted, I click here, left thumb or right thumb, and then we're in the autonomous mode again. So now the police could pass us. This is a really, this scenario they built up here is so realistic. Let's see what the vehicle is doing now. Now again, take control of the vehicle. Okay, I'm doing that. So if I'll be a little bit harsher on the steering wheel, or I can press the brake, that will also be possible. Well, I think the transition here from autonomous drive to driving myself is also very smooth. So we've seen earlier demonstration, where like the steering wheel was going in and out and so on, but that takes time. So I think the process we've seen here, very interesting. If you want to see more, we'll keep you updated on this technology topic here in Autogefühl. And now, of course, tune in where we really drive the EQS ourselves. If you haven't seen that, you should take a look at that.